At 2:36 in the morning, she leaned over me in the dark and whispered 5 little words she had never said in 8 years of marriage. Don't wait up. Not, I'll be back soon. Not, I love you. Just, don't wait up. Most men would have panicked. Most would have started asking questions. Most would have reached for her arm, demanded an explanation, begged her not to leave. But I didn't do any of that, because 3 hours earlier, my entire world had already shifted. 3 hours earlier. My phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. No greeting, no introduction, just 3 photos. 3 photos that didn't belong to me, 3 photos that belonged to her. Photos of my wife, smiling at another man like she hadn't smiled at me in years. Not inappropriate photos, not explicit ones, not the kind used to destroy reputations. No, these were worse. They were emotional, intimate, comfortable. A woman doesn't look at a stranger like that. A woman doesn't laugh like that with a coworker. A woman doesn't glow like that unless something inside her is deeply alive. Alive in a way it hasn't been at home. I stared at the pictures for a long time. Then I checked the timestamp. 1 hour earlier, she had been with him tonight. So when she whispered in my ear at 2:36 a.m., "Don't wait up," I didn't react. I simply replied, quietly, calmly, "I already know." She froze, just for a second, a tiny second. But I felt her breath catch in the dark. Then she recovered, too quickly. "What do you mean?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I rolled onto my side like I hadn't heard her, like I was half asleep, like I didn't have 3 burning pictures saved in a hidden folder on my phone. She stood there in the dark for a few seconds, just breathing. Then she grabbed her purse and left. The front door clicked shut. I stayed awake, not because I was waiting for her, but because something inside me was shifting, hardening, settling into a truth I didn't want, but couldn't avoid anymore. The woman I married, the woman I built a life with, the woman I trusted with every part of me, had already left this marriage long before she walked out tonight. And I guess I finally accepted it. The slow unraveling. She didn't come home the next morning. She didn't come home that afternoon. She didn't text. She didn't call. She didn't even pretend to be somewhere safe. But she looked at my messages. I could see the read indicator each time, but she never replied. That told me everything. She wasn't confused. She wasn't hurt. She wasn't scared. She was calculating, figuring out what I knew, how I knew it, and how much trouble she was in. By the second day, the silence between us turned into a living thing in the house. I went to work, came home, cooked dinner. Never called her. Because when a woman whispers, "Don't wait up," it means she never expected you to. On the third evening, she finally walked through the door. Slow, quiet, careful, like she was entering someone else's home. Her eyes scanned the living room first, then the kitchen, then the hallway. She was looking for signs of anger, signs of violence, signs of destruction. But everything was exactly where she left it. That's what unsettled her. She walked toward me where I sat on the couch. "Can we talk?" she asked. I didn't look up from the TV. "You're home early," I said calmly. Her throat tightened. I think we should talk." I nodded slowly. "Okay, talk." She sat down across from me. Not next to me, across from me, like I was a stranger. "About the other night." "Which part?" I asked. Her face changed, not from guilt, from fear. Because she finally understood I wasn't confused anymore. I wasn't asking questions. I wasn't chasing explanations. I wasn't fighting to save something already dead. She swallowed hard. "Who told you?" she whispered. I smiled. Not with joy, with clarity. It doesn't matter who sent the photos. What matters is that they exist. Her eyes filled instantly. It's not what it looks like. Don't, I said gently. She stopped talking, because the look in my eyes wasn't angry. It wasn't jealous. It wasn't broken. It was gone, detached, and she knew it. For the first time, she couldn't manipulate the moment. She tried again. It was just emotional, nothing physical. I raised an eyebrow. Your smile looked physical. She flinched. Because the truth was never about the body. It was always about the heart. She leaned forward, suddenly desperate. You haven't been present. You haven't touched me. You haven't made me feel wanted. Stop, I said again. She pressed her lips together. Do you want to know the worst part? I asked quietly. She didn't answer. So I told her. You whispered, don't wait up, because you thought I still would. Her face cracked open. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I'm sorry, she whispered. But apologies don't resurrect dead marriages. Not when the betrayal wasn't a moment, but a routine. I leaned back on the couch. Tell me how long, I said. She looked down. 6 months. I closed my eyes for a moment. 6 months. Half a year. 26 weeks of lies. Of sneaking. Of secrets whispered at 2:36 a.m. When I opened my eyes, she was shaking. I didn't mean to fall for him, she said. It just happened. No, I replied. Accidents happen. Affairs are maintained. She broke down then, completely. Hands in her hair, shoulders trembling, tears soaking her shirt. But I didn't move toward her. I didn't comfort her. I didn't wipe her tears. Because every tear she shed was for herself, not for what she had done to me. She finally managed to whisper, Do you still love me? I stood up slowly, walked past her, walked to the bedroom, opened the drawer, took out the framed picture from our last anniversary, and brought it back to her. I placed it gently on the table between us. Then I said the words she feared most. I loved the woman in this picture. The woman sitting in front of me? I don't know her. She covered her mouth with her hand. I continued. You broke something you can't glue back together with tears. She cried harder. Can we try counseling? Please? I'll do anything. I shook my head. You already did anything. And that's the problem. Her breath hitched. She was unraveling now. Not dramatically, not loudly, quietly. The same way she unraveled our marriage. I walked toward the front door. She stood up, stumbling after me. Please don't leave, she whispered. I opened the door. Don't wait up, I replied softly. Her legs buckled. She reached for the doorway to steady herself. And that was the last time I saw her in our home. She moved out 2 days later. Not because I told her to, but because she said she couldn't bear the silence anymore. Funny, because silence was all I ever wanted. A week passed, then 2. Then I received one final message from her. A message filled with regret, with apologies, with promises she should have made when we still had a chance. The message ended with, I didn't know you were capable of walking away so easily. I typed back, you didn't leave me with anything worth fighting for. And then I blocked her. The lesson. Sometimes the thing that saves you isn't proof, or confrontation, or revenge. Sometimes the thing that saves you is silence, because silence reveals everything words try to hide. If this story moved you, like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who needs clarity tonight. And tell me in the comments, would you have stayed quiet like I did? Or confronted her immediately?